Hey everyone, Jed here, and I have some disappointing news. I'm afraid that I have torn my right quadriceps tendon, and I don't know the extent of the damage yet. I don't know if it's a partial or a full tear, but I had an MRI done today, and I'll find out tomorrow. So the purpose of me doing this video is the beginning of the series of my injury to the surgery to the recovery. And it's in part a thing to keep me busy and to document kind of a little bit of a creative outlet since I'm not able to do some of the other stuff that I would like to do. In addition, I want to put this out there for anybody who comes across it that is experiencing a quad tendon tear as well. And hopefully I have some insight being a Pilates instructor and a massage therapist that I can share my experience. So there's a little bit of solidarity there as well as maybe some education too. So let me tell you what happened. So it's been about 10 days since it's happened, and I was on a hike and made it to the top. It's about 2 miles up, and I wish I had something more extravagant to report, but it wasn't anything extreme. My foot had slipped, and I had caught my foot to try to stop myself from going forward anymore, and I believe that's when it happened. Because the next thing you know, or next thing I know, I was on my butt with my leg behind me, and when I brought my leg around, I could tell it was not right. That kind of a numb feeling, just the body knows when something's wrong. And I started palpating around it because, I could tell that something had happened around that area. And I was feeling it right above my kneecap, and I could feel that there was a little bit of it wasn't tight, it was kind of a gap. The muscle belly was a little bit loose. And I might have tried to extend my knee. I'm not 100% sure what I tried to do at that point, but I just could tell that it wasn't functioning. And those of you who have torn tendons before, or maybe even had a broken bone, there's this sensation of like phantom limb is the best way I can describe it, where you go to move the limb and it feels like it's moving, but you look down at the limb and it is not moving. So there's like this dissonance that's happening between visual and sensation, and often it's painful. And when I would try to do that, I would get this cramping sensation. So I knew it was really messed up at that point. So I mean, that's it. There's all there's to it. I thought maybe it happened because I fell back and maybe stretched it too much, but the fall happened so quickly that I'm pretty sure it happened at that blunt sort of impact of me trying to stop myself from going forward. And I think my knee or my quad was compromised. I've had some little mini traumas over the last month. Started recalling that, like trying to figure out why this happened. And I've had some knee issues going on over the last month, and it was feeling good 2 days before I went on the hike. And on the hike it felt good, so I didn't know it was compromised. The end of the story is I had to be taken down the mountain. I had to call search and rescue, and they had to take me down the mountain, and it was quite an ordeal. So I'm very grateful for the search and rescue team that they have a lot of positive attitude, and they got me down the mountain, and all I had to do was lay there and just let them take me down. So I'm inspired by that, and when I make a recovery, I want to look into volunteering for that service myself. I felt really grateful. So what now? Well, I went to the emergency room, and I knew that they weren't going to be able to tell me anything. I've unfortunately been in this situation before. I've torn my pec tendon and been to the urgent care and ER, and they basically just kind of poke around a little bit and go, well, it looks like you did something to yourself. You need to schedule an appointment for an orthopedic surgeon. But what they did give me was a knee immobilizer, which has been super helpful. And they gave me some crutches, and I don't really use the crutches that often. I'll probably need to use them post-surgery, but for right now I just have the knee immobilizer on. And it helps me be able to waddle around, get some basic things done. go to the bathroom, stuff like that. So I had an appointment last week to get the process going. Saw a physician's assistant at the place that I'll potentially getting the surgery at, and they took some X-rays, and that was probably mostly for the insurance company to get cleared for MRI and all that stuff. And the X-rays, I'll try to show those to you because I have them, but I'm having a hard time opening up the disc. But if I can throw that on here, I will. There is some things you can see in the X-ray, but nothing's conclusive. But it might appear that from the X-ray that I have still some tendon attached, mostly because of where my kneecap is oriented. And so often in full ruptures, the kneecap will kind of sag down away. So here's your quad, and this is your kneecap, and it will kind of like sag because the attachment here is broken. But my knee's in pretty good place, so there's a chance that there's still some material hanging on. If I was to guess, I think it would be on the lateral side, the outside of my my quad might still be hanging on there, but definitely the middle part, the inner part is yeah, it's definitely torn pretty bad. So there you go. That will be, I think I should leave it at that for my first video, and I'll keep you updated. I'm going to get my results tomorrow and schedule surgery. I'm assuming that's all that's going to happen. So I will give you an update then. All right, thanks for tuning in.